The Neighbor in the Shadows. In 1984, 9-year-old Christine Jessop went missing. From her small town in Ontario, Canada, for 36 years, her family lived in a nightmare, watching an innocent man get wrongly convicted for her murder, while the real killer walked free. But in 2020, DNA did what the police couldn't. It pointed to a family friend who had been hiding in plain sight for 3 decades. Christine disappeared after school on a Tuesday afternoon. Months later, her body was found 50 kilometers away. She had been sexually assaulted and stabbed to death. The police focused on her neighbor, Guy Paul Morin. Despite thin evidence, he was convicted and spent years in prison, becoming Canada's most famous case of a wrongful conviction. He was finally exonerated in 1995, but the case went cold for the next 25 years. The confrontation didn't happen in an interrogation room. It happened in a lab. In late 2020, investigators used GeneticGenealogy to track a DNA sample from Christine's clothing. The trail led directly to Calvin Hoover, a man who was a close friend of the Jessop family. He had even helped search for Christine the day she vanished. He had sat in their home, shared their grief, and watched the trial of an innocent man from the front row. The motive was the dark, opportunistic urge of a predator. Hoover had no criminal record, which is why he stayed off the radar for so long. The evidence was a perfect DNA match, a 1 in a trillion certainty. Investigators discovered that Hoover had lived a completely normal life. After the murder, raising a family of his own while carrying the secret of Christine's final moments. There was no final trial for Calvin Hoover. He died by suicide in 2015, 5 years before the DNA results proved his guilt. While the Jessop family finally got the name of the killer, they never got to see him stand in a courtroom. However, the closure led to a massive apology. From the Canadian government to Guy Paul Morin, the man whose life was nearly destroyed by the system, Calvin Hoover spent 31 years as a loving father and friend. While knowing he was a child killer, it leaves us with a question that haunts every neighborhood. If a monster is kind to you for 30 years, does that make them any less of a monster, or just a better actor? Follow for more Murder Map stories.